everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariba, and today we actually got a brand new trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this is really surprising because I did not know, or I did not actually expect that we're going to get another Planet of the Apes movie from this new era that we got, because I think for a while it was always marketed as a trilogy, and then we see that we got a fourth part, and I think, what was it? War of the Planet of the Apes came out so long ago. I think it came out during my college years, like somewhere around like 2017, 2018. But I mean, wow, we're getting another movie, right? And I have to say, like, I think I'm very, interested to see this film just because the original trilogy was a really phenomenal, emotionally deep story about Caesar, seeing the trials and tribulations that he had to go through, the obstacles of what him and his group had to go through, considering that there is the human, like there are the humans, and how, they've been mistreated and all that sort of stuff, and how they've been hunted down. We've been seeing all of that, and we've been seeing kind of basically this allusion to like what's going on in this world and just the mistreatment of animals. And we get to see all of that with Caesar's story. And I think the trilogy itself has been one of the best I've seen in a long time, because the way that they really go through these chapters, it's just unbelievable storytelling and giving this emotional depth. And I remember watching War of the Planet of the Apes because I took my sister to go see that film, I think like a long time ago. And I still remember how much that movie hit me so deeply. Like, I've never felt like I was going to be in tears. And then my sister was literally like crying, even though she was never too deep into this whole franchise. And I was just like, wow, like this movie concluded in a very, very emotional, very tender, very like heartbreaking manner. And we know what happened in the end of the film, of course. Like, Caesar eventually passes away, but then this also means that he saved his whole group from the massacres from the humans. And from the looks of it, it seems as if his younger son, Cornelius, like, I think that's how you say it, right? Cornelius is going to take over, right? I think, and I believe we got the first look yesterday of his young son taking over. It looks as if he's going to be the leader. He looks all grown up. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to continue off of the story beyond Caesar, because the first three was basically Caesar centered, right? And now we're without Caesar, but somehow we're going to continue the story off, right? So, very interesting that we're going to get this fourth movie. So, without further ado, let's get right down into the trailer for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
When I sleep, I see strange things.
Memories?
Not memories.
So, Cornelius can talk, I'm assuming that's him.
New things.
And that's Cornelius.
I see
all grown up.
Everything.
That is not everything.
So yeah, he can talk like his dad too. Wow, look at that. Oh, that's like a picture. For it out.
What a wonderful day!
So that was the first trailer for the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And no, not a lot of spoilers, not too much going on, but I think we got enough details to really get an essence of what the actual world building looks like. So lots to kind of play around here, of course. Like, it seems as so now that the apes are now the dominant species from the looks of it. From this trailer, like, they're the dominant species. We can see how beautiful the world looks like visually, right? You can see how a lot of the buildings are a bit worn out. They have a lot of leaves and mosses around, which tells you a lot of, okay, now the apes probably are the dominant species here. You can see that some of them are talking, which means that, again, showing the complexities of how the apes have now evolved. So, which is really interesting because I'm thinking about like evolution and how this is how it all works. So, lots of really interesting things right here. It does seem as though there's going to be a little bit of this power dynamic, this power conflict between different, civilizations. So so I feel like there's going to be a lot of, influences of world history that's going to play into the storytelling here from the looks of it. And so that's going to be very interesting that they're going to take a lot of these, the stories from back, with how civilization, had all these conflicts, and you have all these conquerors and all these, world powers kind of playing into the whole story with the apes. And I wonder how they're going to, and I'm very interested to see how they're going to play that out. Of course, we do see a little bit of the humans, of course, here. Like, we remember from back in war that those who did survive the disease, right? Like, it did have some effects, of course, and that is that a lot of them have lost the ability to speak. So that's probably what we're seeing here, like the humans that did survive, but they cannot speak, so they're no longer the dominant species, like unlike the way that we see with the apes. I believe that's for Aelin that we saw from The Witcher, who played Ciri. So we see her here as well. It seems that they're going to be a little bit of that dynamic between the apes and the humans as well. So that's still going to continue off. But it doesn't seem as though that's going to be the biggest part of it. Like, I mean, we'll see how more of it goes. Because again, we only got like what seemed like a pretty short trailer. So we don't know too deep into what the story is going to be about, where the premise is, and what this leaves for Cornelius. But it does seem as though that Cornelius is going to be kind of this player into, like, again, going into this whole, conflict about leadership, control, power. So that seems to be kind of the essence of where the story is going to go, like similar to what Caesar had to deal with back in the previous movies. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential for this. I'm very curious how they're going to continue off with the story beyond Caesar, although it does seem as though we're going to have kind of the spirits of him in this movie. So I hope that that's going to be the case here. Again, how Cornelius is going to be able to hold up to his father's legacy. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this film. It's coming out in May from the looks of it, so I cannot wait. So let me know what your thoughts are having seen the trailer for the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Do you think that this movie was necessary? Do you think that it's worthwhile telling the story through Cornelius' perspective? What does this mean for Caesar's legacy, and how can they really show the essence of that, knowing that he's not going to be in this movie for sure? We saw what happened in War of the Planet of the Apes. What do you think is going to be the case going to this movie? Like, are we going to see a little bit of that power conflict that we would imagine, like seeing a lot of our own history being played into this whole film? Like, how much are we going to see of that influence, as well as what you expect for the human dynamic that we're going to see between Cornelius and the humans? Let me know your thoughts below, and make sure to like and subscribe.